crikey, welcome to all my More Sewing with Michele sheilas. You fad dinkum are gonna love these Straya patterns that I have for you today by designer Claire Turpin. I'm a bit of a nerd, when it comes to Claire's designs. I love the whimsical elements that she has on all of her animals and designs. As you can see in back of me here is a quilt pattern. But what I brought today are pillow designs. Now, what I love, I know I've talked to you before about not having a one-trick pony. I love taking a simple pattern that I can use for one thing, for instance, today, pillows, and then you can turn it into whatever you want. So I've got some options to show you today, and they are rippers, meaning they're fantastic, and not hard yakkas at all, meaning they're not hard work. They're totally fun, and you're going to have a blast today with me, Michele Rank, on More Sewing with Michele. Let's get going. Okay, so let me get back to my normal voice here, and let me give you some of the slang that I use, what it means. Now, use is plural of you. Fair dinkum means honestly. Yes, honestly. So very truthful. A hard yakka means hard work. A ripper is that's fantastic, you little ripper. Straya is what Australians use to call Australia. Crikey is just an expression of surprise. We all know that from Steve Irwin. A dag is a nerd or a geek, and like I said, that is definitely me. I've got more that I might share with you later, but let me talk a little bit about Claire Turpin. Now, she originally came from England, but she now lives in Perth, Australia, which is all the way on the southern western part of the country. And Australia is a huge country. It's actually a continent. And I've been there twice, absolutely love the place. And where she lives in Perth is one of the places I haven't been because it's so remote. It's just way in the heck over there. And there's lots of the outback in between. So it's kind of desolated in between the main cities, Adelaide, and then when you go to Perth. So anyways, she lives in a beautiful spot, lots of sunshine. And she has been designing quilt patterns as well as pillows, applique, and traditional piecing for about 20 years. I absolutely love her patterns and designs. She's got this whimsical quirk that it just appeals to me. Now, what I want to show you is all of the patterns that I brought today will make this size pillow. So all of the pillow sizes will either be 16 or 18 inches. And isn't this cute? This is from Woofers. Let me show you the woofer pattern. As you can see, there's the woofer pattern, and this comes with multiple designs of dogs that I'll show you a little bit later. I'm going to do a close-up. But isn't that sweet? Now, I chose to make this one, the terrier, look kind of like a schnauzer, or a dog that I had that was a schnoodle, a schnauzer and a poodle mix, and her name was Annie. But anyways, I chose to make him look like that, and that's one of the things that I love about applique. You can take a basic design like this and really turn it into your own beloved animal or your own creation. You can use floral fabrics. On this one, you know, I use some batiks. It's completely up to you, and I'm going to show you lots of options for that as well. I simply made a pillow insert here, and like I said, it was super fun and super easy. And it's just super, how many times am I going to say super, guys? It was just a blast to create. So this one is called Woofers. Now let me show you some of the other designs here. So on this other one, you'll notice that the woofer comes with the large schnauzer as well as 4 other designs. So I think the other one, they're a little bit smaller. There is like a beagle, I would say like a bulldog or a pug, and also the little schnauzer. And you can see on this second one that I did, I put all of them together in one design fashion, and I made a little quilt hanging, a mini quilt, so to speak. But you can turn this into the pillow. It was a lot of fun. Notice that I did just free motion around, and I added straight line quilting around that design. Aren't they sweet? Using some of your favorite florals that add together, and you can make just an adorable little pillow. Now, keep in mind, you could always just use, if you have a pug, use that one pug design and put him in all different corners. And, you can really customize these pillows, or if you choose to do a wall hanging, completely up to you. So, isn't that adorable? Okay, so the next one that I want to talk about is night owls. Look how cute that is. Now, night owls comes with two different types of designs. It comes with the one large design with the owl, and then there's also another pattern down here that's all included with two different owls. So here is my sample that I made for night owls. Isn't that sweet? So I love the fact that it looks like this would be perfect in a little baby's room. I used just scrap fabrics. I love to do that. And I made a little wall hanging. Now let me show you up close some of the other things and the elements to this. You'll see that on this little mini wall hanging, I have done free motion quilting around with stipples. But what I did going around the actual design was I just used my walking foot, and I did just a straight stitch. I dropped the stitch length down to 1.8 and did just stitching around. I do 3 passes, so each side of that stitching will have 3 passes where I use my walking foot to show that. So what I mean is each area here I went around 3 times with my sewing machine to make sure that it's nice and secure. Now you could use a blanket stitch, you could do lots of different stitching, completely up to you. But notice these pebbles. I love doing pebbles, and it's one of those things that's so rewarding. If you haven't tried pebbles yet for free motion, you may want to, dive in. It's fun and it's so relaxing to do your free motion. Make sure that you have the proper foot, your free motion foot set up on your machine, and you're good to go. Okay, so the next pattern I want to show you is chooks. Chooks. Does anyone know what chooks means? Well, chook is slang in Australia, but just so you know, it started in England, and it was brought over in the 16th century to New Zealand as well as Australia. Now, a chook is a female chicken or a hen. It also can refer to a cooked chicken, a foal, and also a mature woman. I think I'm mature most of the time. But anyways, chooks. I had to look it up. So here is the pattern for the chooks. Is it upside down? It is. Yikers. So there's the pattern for the chooks, and it comes with a chook as well as a rooster. So let me show you what I made with the chooks pattern. So you'll see that I did both, and I made a simple wall hanging, and this is going to go downstairs in my dining room. I love it. So you'll notice, I got a few things to showcase for you, that I did the traditional applique. I did the 3 passes around all of the different pieces to make sure that they're secured. And then I decided to do a fun and different type of free motion. So I took my number 2 pencil and I free-handed some stippling on the background. And I added hearts, some feathers, some, dips and swirls and all sorts of different things. And I just went ahead and stitched it up using my free motion foot. So much fun. But this pattern, you could do 2 different pillows, keep in mind, or you could do a total quilt. Now keep in mind, if you look at the chooks and you look at the quilt behind me, she's got other chooks here. So, but we are focusing on her pillow designs. So once again, this is the chooks. Okay, Cobber, meaning good friend. I want to talk really quickly about all the different ways that you can actually do the quilting process to this. If you're going to make it a pillow or a wall hanging, either way, you're going to want to do some securing to all the fabric. So there's two different ways, different thought process, at least that I have, doing straight line quilting, doing free motion. And one of the things that I wanted you to look at when we get to the tweets and the one with the parakeets, or the budgies, as they call them in Australia, is I just took a long ruler and I used my pencil and made a grid line. And then I just stitched a foot's distance away. Super easy. Anyone can do it. But you want to make sure, let me show you our toucan here. So on this one, I just did simple straight stitching all the way across, and I kind of meandered. So it's not completely straight. But you have lots of options. Your creativity, once again, is your only limitation. So the next pattern that I want to talk about is tweets. Now tweets, you'll see, we have two budgies, or we have a toucan. Now when I was growing up, my parents had pet stores and we used to raise these, and I had a toucan named Ollie. So let me show you Ollie first. So here's Mr. Ollie. He was so much fun to create. You can notice on him that he has, once again, the 3 stitches around. And on him, I did not do any free motion except for to go around the eyes. And once again, you can do blanket stitch. You can use a zigzag, whatever stitching you like or that appeals to you is perfectly okay to create Ollie. I added the leaves. I used different colored greens, and the branch I did, obviously I'm such a renegade, but I did add a little fork at the end of my leaf. So I did alter the pattern just a little bit on this because I like to have that filling on the bottom. So, but you can do, once again, anything you want with these. So that is our toucan. Now let's take a look at the budgies. So here they are. Aren't they sweet? So on them, I opted to do the ruler and once again make a grid. I placed my 6x24 ruler across and then made a diamond pattern using my pencil to make the lines. And then I stitched on that one line and then a foot's distance away on either side. So I have 3 lines going down, and you'll see it on the close-up. And then I simply did it in the other way. Super easy, super fast. And it was a lot of fun. So it's just a blast to do these. You do not have to go flat out or be real busy in Australia. When you do this, take your time, have fun. And on the budgies here, I did do free motion around the eyeballs and around some of the circular areas, but the rest of it, once again, I did with just my walking foot. Just my walking foot, and I just stitched around those large areas. And this pattern, what Claire Turpin does, makes it super easy to do that. So you don't have to have something super difficult. You can make it as easy as you want. So I love them. I love these budgies, and using fun fabrics is going to be a blast for you to really customize your budgies and also your toucan. Okay, so here's an Aussie salute. That's what they do in the outback to get all them flies off of them. Been there. When I was there, our coach broke down and I decided to go walking, take a walkabout in the Australian outback, and I got probably about a half of a mile from our coach, and I was like doing this because the flies, I don't know where they came from, but they were all over me. So I know yous are gonna go flat out, meaning you're gonna be real busy with good on ya, good work, and have no wakas, no problems when you create with these whimsical Claire Turpin designs. I absolutely love them. I know you will too. Thank you for joining me once again for more Sewing with Michele. And don't forget to go to moors-sew.com or click on the link in the description where you can purchase any one of these patterns as well as all the additional support materials to make them. Have a wonderful day, and until next Monday, bye-bye.